Hello, my name is Matthew Possehl, and I'm a teacher at Bentonville West High School. This past summer, I had the opportunity to participate in the Strive program through the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, and it became one of the most meaningful professional experiences I've had. In this video, I want to share my internship experience, the research I conducted, and the ransomware lesson I designed and implemented with my students, a lesson that led to measurable growth and real-world understanding. Through Strive, I completed a summer internship with Bastazo, a cybersecurity company focused on industrial control systems and critical infrastructure. During my time there, I had the privilege of working with and learning from experts like Dr. Philip Huff and Dr. Kylie McClanahan, who are incredibly generous with their time, their knowledge, and their willingness to help me translate industry practices into classroom-ready learning experiences. At Bastazo, I gained firsthand insight into how cybersecurity professionals think, investigate, and respond to threats. I was able to observe real workflows, ask questions, and understand how concepts we teach in the classroom show up in the real world. That experience shaped the lesson I ultimately brought back to my students. One of the biggest takeaways from my internship was just how pervasive and damaging ransomware has become, not only for large corporations, but for schools, hospitals, small businesses, and local governments. Ransomware is no longer an abstract cybersecurity buzzword. It is a real and immediate threat. I wanted my students to understand that, but more importantly, I wanted them to investigate it the way real analysts do, by digging into threat groups, identifying patterns, and drawing conclusions from evidence. To accomplish this, I designed a lesson centered around open inquiry. Instead of giving students a list of ransomware groups or prepackaged sets of facts, I gave them guiding questions and the freedom to explore. Students worked in teams to research different ransomware groups of their choosing. Their task was to uncover common attack vectors, tactics, techniques, procedures, indicators of compromise, mitigation strategies, and the broader impact of these attacks, and compile this information into a presentation that they shared with one another. This approach mirrors the investigative mindset used in cybersecurity, where analysts often start with a small clue and work outward to build a complete picture. As students dug into their research, something powerful happened. They began noticing the patterns on their own. They identified that many ransomware groups rely on phishing, credential theft, and unpatched vulnerabilities. They recognized the importance of backups, network segmentation, and user training. They learned to spot early warning signs like unusual file activity, privilege escalation, and lateral movement. And because each group researched a different ransomware organization, the class became a shared learning environment. Students taught each other, compared findings, and built a collective understanding of the threat landscape. To measure learning, I gave students a pre and post multiple choice examination over ransomware concepts and mitigations. Each student improved, and the average improvement was 19.7%. That number matters, but what mattered even more was the confidence shift. Students who initially felt unsure about cybersecurity concepts were suddenly using vocabulary like initial access, persistence, and exfiltration with accuracy and purpose. They weren't just memorizing terms, they were thinking like analysts. This lesson reinforced something I deeply believe as an educator. When students are given real problems, real autonomy, and real purpose, they rise to the challenge. Many of my students told me this was the first time cybersecurity felt real for them. Some said it made them consider cybersecurity as a career path. Others said it helped them understand the importance of digital hygiene in their own lives. The inquiry-based structure allowed them to take ownership of their learning, and real-world relevance kept them engaged from start to finish. For me personally, the Strive program and my internship at Bastazo reshaped the way I think about teaching cybersecurity. It reminded me that students don't just need information, they need experiences that mirror the real world. This project strengthened my commitment to project-based and problem-based learning, and it gave me new tools, new industry connections, and new confidence in designing lessons that prepare students for life beyond high school. In closing, the Strive program gave me the opportunity to bridge the gap between industry and education in a meaningful way. My internship at Bastazo provided the expertise and inspiration, and my students brought the curiosity and drive that made the lessons successful. I'm grateful for the experience, grateful for the mentors who supported me, and incredibly proud of what my students have accomplished. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and thank you to Strive and UA Little Rock for making this kind of teacher industry partnership possible.